magic middies. Will they get you over the line this season? Will Jake have Tedesco this week? Maxie, the consistent keeper. Ryan Hadley, Australia's next test fast bowler. Timmy, the 2020 SuperCoach champion. And Savs, the Newcastle. Tommy Turbo tragic.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
All right, here we go.
You're now listening to the SuperCoach Experience Podcast.
What is up? Welcome back to the SuperCoach Experience Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Savage, the coach of the Xavier Turbos. Yes, you might notice we're in a bit of a different setting today. We're back at home. I had the Daily Telegraph live stream earlier today, and all my co-hosts are out with a HIA. In what world does that happen all at once? All four co-hosts were not able to make it today, so I'm recording from home today, doing a little live stream, Tuesday little thing. This will be very regular. Not very regular. This will be just a one-off. It was just poor. The times didn't match up and a lot of that sort of stuff. So it'll only be me for today, for the Tuesday show, and it'll never be without a co-host in the future. But we're on the YouTube live. We're going to have fun with it. And we're also going to give Timmy a call for Timmy's Tangent as well. So if you're tuning in, feel free to ask some questions. But today, massive team list has just dropped, and we're going to go through that. We're going to go through some hot topics, some key questions. Is it time to sell Cleary, and what players over Origin should we sell over the bye period? Firstly, I ended up with 1322 on Sunday, went down from 2,500th down to 8,000th, which was a bit disappointing, but I actually kind of just didn't want to drop out of the top 10,000, which I was very happy with. So top 8,000, here we go, leading into the buys. I'm pretty happy with that. I do like to be higher at this time of year, but it's also, I think I'm still well on track to be top 1K if I really want to be. So we're going to call Timmy straight up for Timmy's Tangent. So let's give that a go. No answer.
G'day.
No answer. We've got some questions in the chat straight up. Who would you trade in for Greg Marju? I think there are a lot of good center wing options. It just depends on who you don't have. You know who you don't have. It could be a Lucas, a Herbie, a Carraz. Trade in one of them people because I think they're really, really good. Bailey Lloyd, I brought in Nicker and Iro this week. I think they're really good trades against Melbourne, though, or interesting. And Cornlord, wow, bad friend. Hopefully he calls back during the stream. But we're going to go through the team list options, and we're going to see what gems we have. So the team lists have dropped for round 11, and Newcastle played Parramatta Eels on Friday night. It is not Thursday night because of the women's Origin. It is Friday night. Kalen Ponga lines up a fullback. Schiller and Fletcher Hunt is on the wing. Did the Daily Telegraph live stream with Jet Haddon, and he has massive raps over Fletcher Hunt. Very good chance he Ponga makes Origin, which is more than likely that Fletcher Hunt plays fullback. They've just stuck with their same halves. Frizzell is up front. Leo Thompson is out, which is really good for Jacob Safidi. 370K with a -4 break even. He looks a really good option, but that means Thomas comes onto the bench. So if you still have him, it's a bit of a worry, but he based quite well when he came onto the field, when he came off the bench a couple of weeks ago. For the Parramatta Eels, Yongi is at the back. We got Lomax on the wing. Dylan Brown at 5'8". Riley Smith retains his number 9 jersey, and there is no bench hooker, which is really good. He's looking like a really solid downgrade option for 300K. Kitione Katonga and Matt Dury on the edges. Not much in this game. I think one thing to note, Isaiah Yongi is actually really killing it at the moment, and if you've still got him in your side, I think fullbacks leading into this bye period we're not going to have 3-gun fullbacks like, Tom Trbojevic might go to Origin. Latrell goes to Origin. I'm not sure if Teddy does or not, but if Teddy doesn't make Origin, he'll be the one gun we have. We have Drinkwater. Then that last spot is kind of open. If you still have Yongi, he's probably a decent hold over this period. Jermaine Hopgood just really, really losing out on minutes. But that is that game. On the second game on the Friday night, which is the Bulldogs versus the Roosters. I remember the last time the Bulldogs played the Roosters on a Friday night at this time slot. It was the Sin Bin-a-thon, the HIA-thon. What do you call it? The Dom Young, when he got sent off for negative 15 Supercoach points. That was this coinciding game last year. And I'll tell you what, I'm scared for it. I actually sold James Tedesco last week to getting Cameron McInnes and Dylan Lucas into my side last week. I sold James Tedesco. And I also sold, I sold someone up front. I sold Pete Mambazelos, of course, to get in Cameron McInnes. So I'm actually very scared this matchup that James Tedesco will do well, but I did sell him for a reason. I was thinking that he will get the Origin jersey, and then the more and more this matchup has come up, it seems like he's probably not going to get picked. For the Bulldogs, Harry Hayes starts on the edge, and as Supercoach option, he is actually quite an option. I had a lot of questions about him, and he's available in center wing, which is really crazy. But let me just get up his stats here. He actually bases really, really well. He's 415K, second row and center wing eligibility. Over the last couple of weeks, 39 in 44 minutes last week, 38 in 47 minutes the week before. But before that, same when he was coming off the bench, 56, 41, 46, 53. Like, he's a pretty solid PPM type of dude. So hopefully he gets a few more minutes on that edge with the suspension to Preston. But that being said, Preston's going to be in there in a couple of weeks anyway. So he's probably not an option at all. We got... For the Roosters, they are back this week. Nwangui Tawase on the wing. Toya retains his spot. Billy Smith, very Supercoach relevant player. Have a lot of questions whether start or sit. My opinion right there is Billy Smith is running at the best edge in the NRL, which is Stephen Crichton, the best center in the game defensive-wise. He's running at Stephen Crichton. So if he can't get attacking stats against the weaker defenses, he's certainly not going to get any against the best attacking defensive center in the competition at the moment. Honestly, not much for the Roosters. I think the big talking point, James Tedesco at the price. If you don't have him, I wouldn't be purchasing him in this week. I just think the matchup isn't friendly for a 130 plus score. I think he can turn up, that's for sure. I think he's that style of player. But at the price, I would just lean off buying James Tedesco and just wait to make sure he doesn't make that Origin side, because you can wait a week. It's not like if you had the Titans this week at a day game, sure, I 100% get buying him this week, but the matchup is not that friendly. Yes, he can score well, but yeah, I'm confident that he goes sub 90. For the Dolphins, play the Warriors 3 p.m. on Saturday. And Supercoach-wise, not much doing here. The Herbie Farmworth at center, very popular purchase this week, 5th most traded in. Vinny Fuiaki, we haven't spoken about him in a while. I don't think his numbers are really living up to the preseason hype. But for the Warriors, they are actually killing it at the moment. Luke Metcalf, he was the 5'8 option that we all sold. We should have not sold, to be honest. He's killing it. 60 on the weekend. I thought he played a lot better than a 60, but at the same time, he's just pumping it week in and week out. And against a weak Dolphins, 3 p.m. Saturday. I shouldn't say weak Dolphins, but against Dolphins that are known to leak points, I think he could potentially be a sell, to be honest. Aaron Clark for the Warriors, he's actually going so well at the moment. 104 points last week. I think he's coming off 2 tons, and since Dylan Walker left the club, it's just been crazy. So he's 668K. He has a break even of 52, and his last few matchups, 108, 65, 103. He's playing 65 plus minutes. He's just such a weapon. at the price, for me, it's just a little bit boring, to be honest. Like, for me, I don't really love that, but at the same time, it's just he's so consistent. He'll do a job for you. So yeah, he's killing it at the moment. Leka Halasima keeps his role on the starting edge. We've got the Cowboys host the Sea Eagles, 5:30 Saturday. Scott Drinkwater fullback. Robert Derby keeps his spot on the wing. Zach Laybutt comes into the centers, and Jackson Purdue plays at 5'8". Is this going to benefit Jackson Purdue, or is it going to not benefit him? In my opinion, I think it's going to take a couple of weeks. Long term, it's going to be really, really good for him. But in the short term, he's at a certain price where we can cash out and get someone of value. I think he's still a sell at the moment, but long term, I think towards the end of the year, he's really going to start to come out of his show in that 5'8" spot. Maybe he's already out of his, he's already beaten that initial getting out of his comfort zone type thing, and he will kill it from the get-go, but I think it will take a couple of weeks. But in that Cowboys side, against a matchup like Manly at home, it could be anything. He could just keep it up and be end of season keeper for sure. Sam McIntyre starting lock. For Manly, Tom Trbojevic returns and not guaranteed for Origin, to be honest. So in my opinion, Tom Trbojevic could be a sneaky buy at the moment. He's actually at a really, really good price. I've been looking at him heavily this week. Get him in, captain him, 623K, which is crazy for Tom Trbojevic. 108 break even. His last score against the Cowboys was 113. Before that was when he played center, and that was 45 points. But the time before that was the record-breaking 229. He averages 85 against the Cowboys, and he loves playing at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Yes, his last matchup was at the center there, and he scored 45, but he was coming off an injury. And then if we remember the week after that, he just absolutely blitzed it. He was coming back from the injury last week, actually against the Panthers, but I really think he's going to come out and have a statement game leading into Origin. So I really, really like him as an option this week. If you're looking at trading someone just left field and you've got a free throw at the stumps or something, I really like Tom Trbojevic to just trade in this week. 7:35, the Sharks host the Storm, and the Sharks just constantly 1-17. The Billy Burns retains his edge spot, and what a purchase he's been. 460K. He has break even of 22 at the moment. 460K, break even at 26. But the thing is, Teague Wilton is on the extended, so he may come back. If not, we'll get another juicy price rise out of Billy Burns, but he's done his job. He has made 160K and has been a really good sort of play in the past. For the Melbourne Storm, Ryan Papenhuyzen, 182 points on the weekend. If you don't have him in your side, I wouldn't be rushing to get him in because he is playing a defensively really good Shark side who only concede, I think it was around 60 points to the Sharks. I'm actually doing a deep dive on the Patreon at the moment where I'm going through each side and seeing what they concede SuperCoach wise to certain positions. So it'll be real accurate data. So for instance, Sandon Smith is only available at halfback and hooker in SuperCoach. So SuperCoach will only record that data. And like, mind you, they don't actually give you the scores of what these players average against certain teams. But in my little graph I'm doing, so he would be counted as a 5'8" in this graph. So for the Sharks concede 53 points to fullbacks. So I wouldn't be trading him Ryan Papenhuyzen this week. He has the bye next week. But then I'll reassess at round 13, which more than likely he'll be a must trade in for myself. Jerome Hughes looking a little bit injured, so I probably wouldn't rush at trading him in either. Harry Grant is on the extended as well. We've got the Broncos host the Dragons on Sunday. Selwyn Cobbo at fullback. Ezra Mam returns into the side. And yeah, whether you disagree with it or not, I'm at the point where I've been so outraged by it for so long that I'm at the point now where I'm ready. I'm open to him having his redemption story. Yeah, what he did was awful. And I feel like you can never really forgive someone for that. Like, it's a shit thing you did, but I'm ready for him to just work his ass off, hopefully he gets booed or not. Who knows? Whatever, like whether he served his time or not. If he gets booed, he's probably expecting that. But if he stands there, takes his ground, and just cops it, doesn't complain, and just puts his head down all season, that's when we can all kind of, I wouldn't say forgive him, but like you'll be like, okay, you've taken the first step into getting people's respect back, and this is all he can do: serve his punishment and do the best. But at the same time, still a shit thing. But yeah, I guess I don't like shitting on people too much, even though, fuck, it was pretty shit what he did, eh? For the Dragons, Hamish Stewart at lock. King Tonga keeps his spot at a -45 break even, and I think he's one of the cheapies of the week. Can you sell Nathan Cleary? Well, we'll talk about that straight after this, but I think Nathan Cleary via Dylan Brown to King Tonga is a very good trading option. We do have we got some questions in the chat. Wake up, Timmy, your dog says Ken. Yeah, wake up, Timmy. 4:05 Sunday game. Raiders host the Titans. Tamale, he's peaked in price. He's at a really, really good price at the moment. But he scored 89 against the Titans last time he versed them. And the Titans, have they turned a corner? He is at 562K. His break even is 73. So yes, you are potentially losing a bit of money, but he does play round 12. Plays round 12. He's not going to lose that much money. And I think there's a good chance he goes over for a try this week. So for me, happy to hold Tamale, especially leading into the buys. So I think he's a nice little matchup. Jamal Fogarty, he's been killing it this year for the Raiders. He is above 700K. You look at his numbers. His lowest score is 51. 51, like he's the type of player who you kind of think can really get those low 20 scores. But for me, I considered trading him in this week, to be honest. 51, lowest score in round one. Apart from that, 54 was his lowest score. Then he has 61, 64, 64, 79, 125, 82, 60, 65. Like just super consistent, kicking goals and going to Manly next year, which is a very good sign for him. For the Titans, Kieran Foran named on the bench, Jalen DeGroot at fullback. I think this is going to be interesting SuperCoach wise, where AJ Brimson could go to fullback or could not. I'm not sure what the go is here. Like, this is their best side minus Keanu Keeney. So I see where Des kind of leaves Foran off the bench because that was the plan going into the preseason, but he's under pressure. He needs to win games. I think Foran could come into the starting side, but I really don't know. For me, AJ Brimson just isn't a super coach buy. If you have him in your side, you write him out for that 100, maybe hold him over the buy period. But yeah, for me, super coach wise, he's not that attractive. But if you do have him, I would obviously hold and play this week. And hopefully he just gets that fullback spot because vibes and vibes alone, I feel like he does play better at fullback super coach wise. Tino and Bo, probably their last weeks leading into Origin. So over the Origin period, do you sell like someone like Bo Fermor, who had a negative break even a couple of weeks ago? He's now topped out over 700K. Do you trade him out over the Origin period? I think he's one of the top of the list because he's a borderline keeper. He's not 100% keeper. But I think you wait till next week to see if he gets selected for Origin. The last game on the Sunday, the Tigers host the Rabbitohs at Campbelltown Stadium. Charlie Staines keeps his wing position. Lockie Galvin, Terrell May. Royce Hunt starts. What a godsend. Royce Hunt starts. Hopefully he gets a few more minutes, and the bench looks pretty juicy for him. Brent Naden, Tony Sucker, Jack Bird, and Sione Fainu. Hopefully Royce Hunt gets a few more minutes. And for the Rabbitohs, Latrell Mitchell starts at fullback, Bailey Bentley Harpe on the wing, Jaden Sullivan and Jamie Humphries in the halves. Keon keeps his position in the front row, which is very, very good. 570K based around 73 on the weekend. Let's answer some questions before we go into one of the hot topics. We go Luke Easton. Fogarty is a serious pod for Cleary. 80 average past 3. I like Hughes, though, for cash generations. Yeah, Hughes is 100K cheaper, and he is more proven than someone like a Fogarty. But Fogarty's just killing it. Like, the numbers are undeniable of how he's going. Bailey Lloyd, Royce Hunt just ain't good at all. Pretty shit scores. He is not scoring very well, and even big, like he hasn't really played big minutes at all. His biggest minute role of the year. Let's have a look. He played 2 30-minute games in the first 2 weeks for 21 and 25. Played a 34-minute game for 33 points. Just a lot of 11s and 15s and 13s. It's not for good for Supercoach. But the hot topic of the week is Nathan Cleary. Do we sell him or do we not over the Origin period? So I've got a little spiel of what his games look like over the next couple of weeks and whether you decide if he's a sell or not. So Cleary has the bye this week, misses round 12 for Origin, which is 2 weeks, 2 misses. Round 13, backing up a couple days after Origin, might not back up depending on how the Panthers go in round 12, I would say. He has the Tigers in 14, then misses round 15, and then playing in New Zealand after Origin in Origin 2, which is unlikely he's going to travel to New Zealand after an Origin. He has the Dogs in 17. He misses round 18, then Parrot in 19. Might not back up after the third one, depending on how the Panthers are going. So out of that, he plays 4 out of the next 10 games at best. Plays 5 out of the next 10 if he does back up and go to New Zealand. So I'm not sure if Panthers will have the luxury to rest him, but at the same time, they're only 2 wins out of the 8 if things go their way. So I actually think there's a good chance he doesn't. Hopefully they do win round 12, potentially if you are thinking of selling. But like in my opinion, he's not at the price that he has been in past. He hasn't really absolutely killed it. He's 764K, averaging 75.3. But in that position, who's averaging well? Like Jaden Campbell is one of the better, averaging 5'8" at 74.5. You got Nico Hines averaging 73.3, who's playing Melbourne Storm this week. So I think you got yourself another week to determine that. You've got Fogarty. I mean, what's Fogarty averaging at the moment? Fogarty's averaging 70.5, and he's absolutely killing it. Jerome Hughes is not averaging anywhere near what we thought he was going to average. I think the only kind of avenue at the moment is maybe Cleary to King Tonga, just to generate cash, and then hopefully after the bye period, King Tonga is at a 400, 500K price where you can just upgrade to Nathan Cleary. But I think if you have the trades and you've saved a couple, it's a perfect avenue to do so. But if you don't have the trades, I'd be leaning towards holding. I've actually not saved a trade at all this year, and I'm leaning towards holding just because cash generation has been really, really good this year. We kind of can get the plays we really want to get in. I'm looking at my side. My 117 is pretty good. My depth could be better, but leading into the bye periods, you do rely on your depth at the moment, and the depth that I'm playing with, like the Lockie Hubners, the Tamales, the Toyas, a lot of other people are relying on as well. So I think you can kind of hold out and wait. He's not necessarily someone you have to hold or sell. I think it's just team dependent and how many trades you've saved. Silica, I think this year we need to look at Cleary differently. Years past, they could afford to rest him. This year, not so much. I think team values are already great and you can definitely hold. Yeah, 100% think so. And like the backing up thing for me is it's not guaranteed. Like he could back up, he might not, but he might. So like I don't think you can rely on him not backing up. I think you've got to look at it and just assume he backs up every single game. And yeah, his output might be a bit less, but like who in the position is doing as well as him? Couchman to Aitken. Oh, I like Aitken, but just as Supercoach wise, he's not as he's just not elite. I think you got to go for that really, really elite type of player. We're heading over to the Patreon now, and we're going to answer some questions from the Patreon Q&A. They've asked a few questions which I think are really, really valuable at the moment. We've got a question here. Q&A round 11. Zim Vader, is this week the week to play Billy Smith. Surely that side is due for the Roosters. And as I said before, playing the best defensive center in the competition in Stephen Crichton, I think he's not a play. But if you really need to do it, I think he's going to get you that 35, but I wouldn't be expecting too many attacking stats. Zim Vader, who is Peter. Shout out, Peter. I've gone from 5,000 to 35,000 in 2 weeks. My question is, can I have a cuddle? Because that's why way too brutal for me to comprehend. Well, I've done the exact opposite. I've gone from 40,000 to 8,000 in a couple of weeks. So it can swing. So you only need 2 weeks to really come back into it. We do have another question. I will answer that at the end of the podcast. That is from Blake. He always asks the out there questions of the week. So we want to stay kind of serious at the moment. Going back over to the WhatsApp thread, we got Ben Fuser. Who are the key gun tradeouts and holds over the origin periods based on position? So I think the big one is front rowers at the moment. As I get this screen down, stop screen. Here we go. So I think front rowers, like we've all got Payne Haas, we've all got Terrell May. If they both make Origin, which there's a lot of talk saying that Terrell May might not make Origin, which is really crazy. I think there's no way he doesn't make Origin, in my opinion, but there's well where it could happen. Payne Haas and Terrell May, I just think in the position, like I'd hold Payne Haas and Terrell May because they're people that you're not going to prioritize to get back into your side. Like they're not exciting. And after the bye period, like they don't score that many tries. You know, Haas might go quiet over the origin period and you might just think I could get away with not having Haas for the rest of the season, but he will come out and he will hurt you at the end of the season. I think someone like Corey Horsburgh, though, if he does make Origin, with Hosking back into the second row position for an extended period of time now, I think Horsburgh gets inflated minutes with Hosking not taking any middle minutes away from him. If he makes Origin, I think Horsburgh to Tarpanay is going to be such a gun trade. It's going to be one of the best trades you can do. And you're going to have the likes of Tino, Horsburgh, May, and Haas into your side. I mean, Tino's another one who potentially makes Origin. I just wouldn't sell any of these guys. Like, I can vouch for selling Kalen Ponga because there are so many good fullbacks that you can get in. But for me, with the front rowers, maybe you can sell one of them to a Tarpanay. I wouldn't be selling any to a Adam Fanua-Blake. Second rowers, I think Supercoach-wise, Fermor, definite sell. Ola Kawatu, if he makes Origin, potential sell. I just don't love the second row options that we have available at the moment. Angus Crichton, a lot of people wouldn't have Angus Crichton, but I think if you've got him, he's a definite sell. Liam Martin, probably not even in consideration at the moment. Silico says, I don't mind Fogg or Hughes as a downgrade, though. It makes it easy to go back to Cleary later. Don't love King Tonga. I 100% agree with you. I think that's why I went McInnes in my hooker role. I downgraded someone to create cash to go Mamazelos to McInnes because I know McInnes to Grant isn't going to cost me much at all when the time comes. Whereas if you get someone like Riley Smith and he is a dud, then it's going to hurt you in the long run. You're not going to be able to go to a Harry Grant as easily. Limited trades, how are you going to create the cash? Just make sure you get someone that you can go directly back to. I think the way Fogarty's going, you can nearly downgrade Fogarty to Cleary after the origin period as well. And Sabs are people sleeping on Iro and Ramian. The Sharks have 2 games outside New South Wales for the remaining games. 2 of them are on the Central Coast. Central Coast is very, very friendly for the Sharks. The Sharks love playing there. And their draw, they do have the Storm. They have the Roosters. I don't love the next 2 weeks for them. But following that, New Zealand, St. George, Broncos, Melbourne, their draw is kind of yuck. I think after the origin period, just having these guys in your side, a lot of people won't prioritize these guys. They'll prioritize the origin players they traded out for the run home. And I think the Sharks are going to be really, really good for the run home. I've got Nickera. I've got Hines. I like Iro. He scored in every single game he's played in. How does he keep that up? I would just hope that over the next couple of weeks, it probably doesn't happen, to be honest, because Sharks are playing all these really good sides who will be depleted by Origin. But hopefully he can just go a game or two without scoring, just so we can get it for that little bit cheaper. But Ramian is up on $1, 500K. Let's look at his matchups over the next couple of weeks. I just talked about the matchups. He has the Melbourne Storm this week, who Ramian on the right edge is running at that left center, who is the fill-in of Grant Anderson, which I think it's actually quite favorable for him. For the Roosters, running at Billy Smith, which defensively he's quite good, and Daniel Tupou or Angus Crichton won't be there because he'll be at Origin, so it'll be most likely like an Egan Butcher or Victor Radley. So I don't love that much up there. But then against the Warriors in round 14, you might have Capewell there. He's pretty good. Val Holmes around 15, or is that Origin round? I'm not sure, but yeah, the matchups aren't super great over the next couple of weeks for someone like Ramian, but I just love a Ramian play every single buy round, every single year. Anyone else jumping on the Pierre Cora train, says Space Nerd. He wasn't named to start this week. I was really hoping he'd get a start, but he didn't. So I'm not looking at it at all. Okay, so let's go into my trades this week. I'm actually not doing any at all. I'll get my side up at the moment. There are some certain things I'm looking at trades-wise. Look at my side. I can definitely do like a Corey Horsburgh to Jacob Saifidi. I know with Leo Thompson out, that could bank me 200K, and that could really set me up going forward. I could do like a Lockie Hubner to a gun. I could do a Tamale to a Tom Trebojevic or something, but I just don't think it's the play this week. I think it's the perfect week where I'm happy not to make trades. The top 17 is good. I am a bit wary about playing Nico Hines. I could do like a Cleary to Fogarty or a Cleary to Hughes, but I'm just happy to ride it out. I'm happy to ride it out. I think everyone's in a similar position. I'm happy with my 17. Save 2 trades. The people I have playing in round 12, I've got McInnes, Sandon Smith. That's 2 players. Horsburgh, we'll assume he's out. Olaquatu, Nikora, that's 4. Geimer, 5, but probably not. Hines, 5. Brown, 6. Jenkins, 7. Toya, 8. Harodi, not 1. Garrick, 9. Farnworth, 10. Kuraz, 11, pending Origin. Lucas, 12, pending Origin. Ponga, probably not. And I've got Tamale, 13. So I've got 12 trades. I've got 3 trades to use next week. And I've already got 13 or 12 or 13 players. So I'm pretty happy with how next week I'm set up for. And I think it's just a perfect week to hold trades. Anyone else doing any trades that I can just talk about in the trade segment before I do move on? We've got Couchman to Aikman. I've already answered. Greg to Iro is the player. I think Greg Marju to Iro is a pretty good play. I actually don't mind that. We're going to head over to the Canoe Crew. We're just going to do a little call in there. Can you call the group? Call. You can't call. I thought you could call groups. No, we're good. All right, we have a couple more trade questions. Derby to Hosking or Kohler? Kalamatangi, 70, over 70 in base, pure base last week. I think he's going to be a really good purchase oh, yes, we've got a co-host. Oh, we don't have a co-host. But Kalamatangi. $568K, 51 break even, so you don't have to move this week. Probably makes $16K this week, stays below that 600K, but I think in round 13 he's going to be a great purchase. We've got Euro versus Sharp. Oh, that's a tough one. I think based on the draw, I'd go Sharp. Silico, Mamo to Hosking and Marsh to Colo this week. Mamo to Hosking. I like that. And Marsh to Collar. I like both of them trades. All right. All right. We're calling one of the group chats. Let's see who answers. No one's answering. No one is answering. Hello.
Sav, what's going on, brother?
Hello. What's going on? I'm left out in the dry today. You're the first person to answer me.
Mate, I said in the chat, I said call Bonnie Blue and I'll answer.
What's going on?
Mate, just clocked off work, but I've got a rogue one for you. I'm thinking of selling Olakwatu down to Hosking. It just looks like Olakwatu's been busted the last few weeks, and DCE out with Origin. I don't think he's going to get that quality ball, and I'm thinking of bringing Teddy in. So what are your thoughts on that?
I like the thought process. Obviously, you've got enough for round 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, Olakwatu before the bye round, didn't he turn up?
Yeah, I think he did against Penrith, but I don't know.
It's just
I'm tempted.
It's a gut vibe thing, is it?
Yeah, I think Hosking, I can bank 130K, and I think they average around the same.
Yep. Would you pull the trigger on Tedesco next week? Is that what you'll do?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I've been running Ponga and Pap, and I've just been sort of missing that third fullback, and it just kills me every week. Missing out on Drinky. I just want one of those other guys in the squad.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I do like the is Hosking down from Olakwatu. Is that?
I was thinking Piakura, but then as soon as I was thinking White down to Piakura, and now I saw that it was on the bench, had to avoid that one.
Yeah, right. I love Hosking, but I think Olakwatu is just too good. And like, I just think this week, like he turned up against the Cowboys in round 1, mind you, it was at 4 Pines, but I think he was. I just feel like the Manly Seagulls are going to put a score on the Cowboys this week, because it's just kind of how it's gone, right? Like they'll have a bad week and then they'll come out and look amazing the next week, and I feel like this is that week.
Yeah, I mean, as a Manly fan, I obviously want to see him doing well, but yeah, hot and cold at the moment, so it's a tough one. But I think I just want to get Teddy in this week. I mean, listen to all the potties with Laurie Daly, and he's pretty much hinted that Dylan Edwards is locked in.
Oh, right. Yep. Oh, shit. I sold Tedesco last week. I plan to get him back next week anyway. It was just a short-term play to get McInnes into my side, and Lucas, mind you. But yeah, I don't like that news. Although I don't want Tedesco to play fullback for New South Wales either. So I don't know what I was thinking at the time. It was just like I wanted my 17 to be really strong last week, and I made the wrong move. I could have just got Pappy in for Teddy.
Yeah, hindsight, isn't it?
It's very hindsight. Yeah, so I wouldn't pull the trigger on those trades. Like,
yeah,
I just think like Olakwatu, he's someone you probably want to hold for the rest of the season. But like, I remember speaking to Hads last year, and he was saying to me, he's like, is Olakwatu really going to be in your final 17? And I think that's the question you got to ask.
Yeah, he just doesn't scare me. Like I don't know.
Well, he plays next week, and I think he's going to be a very popular captain option next week. So I'd say hold on to him, but like keep it up your sleeve in case you don't find anything else within your side.
Yeah, I mean,
And like just leave it up to the gut appeal. Like just watch the pre-games and see how you go, and then yeah, pull the trigger if you have to. Although you probably got to decide by Friday night, right?
yeah,
Yep.
my other option would be downgrading probably Tamale to one of those
Corey Allen.
cheapy CT dubs. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't like Corey Allen would be taking a flyer on the Knights winger coming in.
Yeah, to be fair, I think Hosking can average very similar to Olaquatu over the next little period. And then, yeah, you're getting Tedesco into your side earlier than you probably planned. So it's probably a good thing then.
Yeah, I'm still up in the air, but always good to chat it through.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, thanks for jumping on. Who's your captain this week?
Who's my captain? I think I'm just going to go Payne Haas, to be honest.
Yeah, it's one of them weeks, eh?
Yeah, V30 into Pete. Payne Haas, captain. Yeah, I don't really see that much games to attack, really.
Yep, 100% agree. All right. Well, thanks for jumping on, and we'll chat to you shortly.
See you, mate. Love you, Cat.
Thank you. Bye. All right, we've got Space Nerd on here. He says, is this a permanent change in the format for the Tuesday episodes? No, it's not at all. This is just a one-off for the year. Me and Timmy, Timmy wasn't available because he's was busy today. Grant had something on as well, and so did Mikey, and so did Had. So I tried to call in the Calvary. I tried to get some other people from other podcasts, but obviously they all record their podcasts at this time as well. So this is the only time that we'll kind of get this. It'll be like this. So I apologize. It's not good. It's by myself, and I struggle to keep people engaged by my voice. But thank you for tuning in regardless. My captains this week, my VC is going to be nice and early, Kalen Ponga. I can't do the Kalen Ponga captaincy again. He is playing the Parramatta Eels at home, but I'm just not liking what I'm seeing from him last week. My captain's going to be Ruben Garrick. Jackson Purdue was playing on that left side. Garrick was running out. I was probably still would have captained Garrick otherwise, but now they've moved that. They're putting Zach Labard in there, who's not used to playing left center. He might have played it there a bit in reserve grade. I haven't looked into it in particular, but he's historically a right side center. So he's someone who's not used to playing on the left. And I know it doesn't seem like it makes a difference, like changing sides, but I played in the charity match earlier in the year, right? I played on the left side in the first half, and I found it so much easier to tackle because I was tackling with my right shoulder. And like the people coming at you, they're mainly coming on your right. And when they're outside you and you have to use your left, there's not much room to work with. You don't really have to think too much. Whereas I got shifted to the right in the second half. And then predominantly I have to do it with my left. And I just like my tackle technique with my left was so much different to the tackle technique on my right. And I was actually so bad at tackling with my left shoulder compared to my right. And I just kept trying to go over to the right, to the left, and someone else was over there. So it was really difficult to defend in. So I think for someone that isn't used to playing a certain side, it does take a bit of getting used to. So that's where I'm going with that. I think Garrick is going to be a nice solid captain option this week. Could be, like a Payne Haas or a Taramay. It seems like that type of week, though. Space Nerd says, no need to apologize, brother. I don't mind the novelty of a TLT chat. I've always thought of like with the Tuesdays, just doing like a little TLT live stream and then uploading that straight away live as soon as TLT hits, and then doing the same Tuesday podcast without like a TLT wrap, just like the conversation side of things in the studio straight after. I've definitely toyed with the idea of that, but it's just time constraints and all that sort of stuff. We're all pretty busy with the work at the moment, but it's been pretty hectic. It's kind of nice to have a break on a Tuesday because we do travel an hour away to get to the studio. It is pretty he's pretty full on getting to the studio every single week and doing something like this. We've got Silico, you're doing well on the solo streams. Thank you. I think I've definitely got a lot more confident in it. And it helps when people ask questions, to be honest, because it sidetracks me into ways that I would have never just taken it. So I do like going live for that aspect. If I was pre-recording this, sometimes I like to get the actual camera out to put it on the YouTube channel so it is better quality. I don't have the live questions to come in. So that's why I kind of just do it on the webcam and just answer questions and do the podcast straight away. We have been going for 45 minutes. I don't know if I missed anything from regular. I know I've missed tipping point. We will do that. We've got Maxi. So happy to join next week. Opinions on Cleary to Hughes and Derby to Hosking. I like them trades. I just think Hughes, you can wait till after the bye. I think he's playing injured at the moment, and I think against the Sharks, he's probably not in for a big one, but I get you probably need to fill in that halfback role with Cleary on the bye this week. So if that allows you to do the Derby to Hosking trade, then I think it's a perfect trade. Where are you ranked now, by the way, Maxi? Maxi was actually someone who was on the podcast a lot in 2019 when Des won. He was good mates with Desmond, but yeah, moved away to pursue his dream of running his own law firm, not running his own law firm. Ranked 999, much love, legend. Very good. Top 1,000. That's what we like to see. Do you have Pappy? What else have we got? I think that's all. Oh, did I do that in the wrong chat? No, I think that's all we got for today. Firstly, once again, apologies, guys, for not doing the regular programming for the Tuesdays. I am going to make this up. I'm uploading the Daily Telegraph live stream onto our audio platform, so go check that out. I am also doing a Instagram live Q&A, which hopefully will help a couple of people out. Before I do go, though, shout out to Carl McGrath Accounting. If you need your accounting done, there is no better person to do than Carl McGrath. He is a SuperCoacher, so he will talk to you about SuperCoach as well as your tax. Tax season is coming up, so if you want someone to do your tax, he's the guy to do it for you. $110 for a basic tax return. If it is something a bit more complicated, then he'll sort you out for price. Just mention the show, talk to you about SuperCoach. He'll also get the best refund possible. He had a story for me last week. I think I will get him on the podcast next week. Just give him a call, see how he's going. He's actually, I think he's ranked 614th last week. So he's doing very, very well at SuperCoach. But he made this really, really bad mistake where he left, I think he left a player that turned up on the bench last week, and it just completely ruined his week because he left that person off to do the VC loop. And yeah, I've got to get that story up because it's really interesting when I read it. But yeah, if you are going to speak to Carl when tax season comes up, then give him a call. Our link is in the bio. I think that's all I got for the episode today, guys. I apologize once again for the lack of Tuesday-ness to this episode, but thank you for tuning in once again.